Hello, my dear Scorpio. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December 16 to December 31st, 2016, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I'll start shuffling your cards. And December 21, we will have the midwinter solstice. It will be the darkest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, or the longest night of the year, since the South Pole will be tilted towards the sun, which have reached its southernmost position in the sky and will be over the Tropic of Capricorn. December 21 till 22 will also have the Ursids meteor shower. And December 29th, we'll have the new moon in daytime, kind of marking the new year. So, I call the divine with love and light. And I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio. I want my dear Scorpio viewers to have love in their life. I also want them to have creative success and to find themselves walking on their highest path towards their highest destiny. So, for Scorpio, the second part of December 2016. What's in store? So I will just tune in a few seconds. Okay. So this is your future. This is your now, and this is the past. The now is probably the last part of December 2016, but whenever you watch this is probably the exact right time to see it. Okay. So the first card for you is 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is sometimes abandoning goals, that you had a goal that looked beautiful, but when you started to reach this goal, or when you actually had this, you weren't really happy with it. It wasn't what you had in mind, or it wasn't what you had expected. Sometimes it can also be a draining situation in a relationship, at work, in school, that's kind of taking the toll on you. It's like you give and give and give a lot of your energy, and it seems like you reach nowhere. So this is the situation where you need to separate yourself a little bit from your life and come closer to yourself. This is a person that has turned away from all these beautiful calluses here, and it's turning against the stars and the moon. She has a little dolphin here trying to get her attention, but she seems very focused upon herself, and she has the back turned against us, so she's kind of leaving out the door. The dolphin might be a symbol for love and commitment and kind of this soul connection that can be between people, but it seems like she's ignoring this right now because she needs to face herself. The stars is of course her guidance system, and the moon is her subconscious. We also have a big wave coming here. See if you can see it better. A big wave coming. And it's kind of indicated that she needs to feel her own feelings. She needs to separate from what is in this moment and find out what's there for her. Maybe she can't, I say she because it's obviously a her, but it might as easily be a him. So she needs to separate because she needs to decide what's her path. Sometimes if you have chosen like yes, an education or a certain career, or you have settled down with a person and you feel that you're not, you don't feel at home, or you don't feel like this is what you should do. You feel like a bit alienated, and also people can have made you very disappointed. So that's usually why we don't feel really that we are settling in a situation, because the people in our surrounding make us feel exhausted or drained of energy. We don't get the support that we need. So this is kind of leaving that situation. And it might not be living forever, just it's like taking time out sometimes to feel what you feel and what you want. So the next card for you is the Hangman. And the Hangman is like being stuck in a situation that's not really comfortable. You see this person is kind of stuck in a trap. And we know this from history. Many people have been hanged in different positions. And it's kind of a test. It's kind of a trial. It's kind of a tryout. And in this case, it's kind of a maturity rite. This is Odin hanging upside down for 9 days. And he then experienced a kind of epiphany where he got the runes to the Nordic people. They didn't have a writing system before. But by his new idea, they got this writing system and were able to write down things. And the runes was also used for magical purposes. So we see on the halo here that he's kind of enlightened. So this is the typical situation of being stuck in a situation which you don't want to have. And it's kind of a sacrifice. And it's kind of a little bit humiliated if we are thinking about our beautiful friend Jesus is hanging on the cross. He was humiliated. So it might be a humiliated mating situation as well, that you feel like out for display, that you feel like you are unsupported and you're also helpless because you're hanging upside down. You can't do anything about this situation. So sometimes it can be when, as I said before, if you have chosen a education, for example, and it's hard to back out. You might have paid a lot of money to go into that education, or it might be hard to change place of education in the middle of the semester. It can also be a workplace where you have invested a lot of time and it feels hard for you to go out and search for something else. Maybe you also feel that you wouldn't be appreciated somewhere else. This could be a lack of self-esteem as well, that you think that you need to take kind of what you get, and this is where you get stuck like this. And also in a relationship, that you are maybe in a relationship where you're not really well treated, and you might feel stuck by the love that you feel. So that's why when a person has left a relationship, they feel a lot of pain and they want to kind of return to this situation. This is an 8, so it's kind of an eternity symbol. It's kind of returning to this situation over and over again. But if you can get some distance, that's why she's walking away here. If you can get some distance, I think many of you have been in the situation that you have been in a relationship and it break down and you were very, very sad. But when the several years have went down and you look back at the situation, you are amazed that you didn't leave the situation earlier. So it's something keeping us stuck as well. Yeah, you need to find out what that is in your situation, why you were kept stuck. Because for some people this will be in the past, and for some this will be what they have recently experienced, and for some it might be something that has happened a long, long time ago. But it's kind of this situation where you're stuck by something, your fears, your love, your expectation from others, maybe to finish what you have started, things like this. So it's kind of peer pressure as well, because you're hanging like this and it's not really your choice, maybe, especially if it was a trap. So it's kind of, yes, it's a sticky situation. It's being stuck between a rock and a hard place and not really knowing where to go with this. So here I have a 6 of Wands, and the first thing that strikes me is the quote here. She has the same, and this is the card of victory, and she's leaving here. So it might be indicated that, and here all the wands are aligned in one position. We have this one going in another position, and we have this victory, symbol of victory. and the red and the gold. So it's kind of indicating victory, and it's indicating victory by you aligning with yourself, aligning with your highest purpose. So maybe you need to break rules, like fail people's expectations, or do something that's a bit risky, like leaving a job or leaving a relationship. If you feel like this and there's no turning back, like if you are going to turn back, you need to force yourself, and you need to kind of go against everything that you feel, and then that's wrong. So here you see everything is aligned with you. You sit here on a high horse, so that's kind of you position yourself like, I know what I want, and I won't compromise myself. I'm going to do this, even if it's a risk, because this is what my soul wants. My heart is aching. My heart is telling me, like, this is what I need to do. So I can't force myself into a situation, an old situation. It may be tradition, like I'm thinking about education and titles, work titles, being safe in a relationship, feeling loved, things like this, but not really satisfied, not really like, this is not me. I'm not supposed to be in this situation. I'm longing for something else. So you might need to break some rules, do something that's not really expected. Here's the Three of Pentacles. So that's a beautiful card in this situation because it's problem solving. It's kind of a person looking at the whole situation and estimating what's the problem and what's the possible solutions, and like weighing the good things against the bad things, and putting in a lot of effort to try to change the situation into a better one. And with Six of Wands, it's indicated communication. This can sometimes be a lack of communication, both those cards. And Three of Pentacles is when you take the necessary discussions. So some of you might be fearful for what other people will say if you come and bring the news of what you are thinking about, like, I'm this kind of person, or I feel like I want to do this, or this is my decision. So you might fear a little bit what other people will say about this, but it's the only way forward to communicate and to follow your own bliss, and align with yourself, but also be able to kind of make other people understand. It might take some time, especially if you are like breaking tradition or breaking some kind of social code, or breaking a relationship. It might take time for people to understand why this is happening. So you need to give them that time. You can't expect to have understanding at once. The understanding might come with time, and many discussions, and many situation where you kind of sit down together and try to solve problems, and eventually they will see things your way if you're open-hearted and really tell people like what's going on with you. And so they might be fearful first and think that, well, this can't be the best thing to do, but you will know. Okay, and here we have the Strength card. It's number 8. And you had at the beginning, it was Minor Arcana 8 of Cups, and this is Major Arcana Strength 8. And you have also the Eternity symbol here over your head. And this is a very passionate person. It's about creativity, it's about lust, it's about where your soul wants to go, and the energy that you have inside of you, the wild beast, where does it want, where it's feeling like it's enlightened instead of like bored. And this is a person leaving a situation that has been good for them. So they might feel like they are kind of spoiled, that doesn't take this chance with this thing. But they understand that it needs to follow this higher calling, like the calling from their soul. They can't make them fit into this situation anymore. It's not possible. So the situation might need to change. If it's a relationship, the relationship might need to change through communication, through talk, through necessary discussion, and where you need to maybe not compromise yourself in the same way that you did here, which kind of broke your spirit. And it might also be like taking the necessary discussion with your boss, saying that I don't feel like I have the opportunities here to use my talents and to grow, and see if that situation can change, if you can get some other offering or some other kind of way to go, if you can find this in a discussion. And also the same with studies or whatever, that you need to maybe meet a study counselor or talk with people in your surrounding, and kind of getting better ideas about what to do. So it seems like, well, it was a sticky situation, but with the strength and with you aligning with yourself, and also with you being very tolerant towards others and their fears in this situation. So you can kind of help them to get the same understanding that you already have reached. So you need to have a lot of patience also, because you have been pondering of this for a very long time, and for many people, other people that are in your surrounding, it might be news. So they might need the same time that you had to figure this out, so they can understand you and align with you and support you. So don't be impatient with people around you, because they probably only want what's best for you. So this is in the now, and here we have a 5 of Pentacles, and it comes underneath the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is like sometimes you're giving a lot of energy to a situation, and they are still like empty barrels. And this is what happens when you have given everything away. You are yourself is empty and cold, and nothing grows here. So this is a situation of sacrifice and loss, and not being re-energized, but actually just drained and drained and drained and drained until there's nothing left, and you had to endure. So everything is cold here. It's snow because you had to cool yourself down, or to kind of freeze yourself down, put yourself and your longing and your wants in the deep freeze. And this killed everything within you, and except for a little snowdrop here, making its way through the snow. So there's still hope, but you have given it all away to something that wasn't really where you should have spent your energy, because it wasn't aligned with your highest purpose. But you did this probably because you wanted to be a good citizen, a good partner, a good partner in love, or a good family member, or something like that. So you gave it all away. But now you are drained, and you are fighting so hard to follow like other people's expectation and rules for you, and that had drained you of all your energy. So it might be also that you are a bit ill. It might be like catching a lot of colds or worse, but it's just a sign that your light is kind of burning out because of you giving away your energy in a situation that's not for you. You are not supposed to be here in this situation. You have just kind of adjusted to this. And here we have a 2 of Pentacles, so that's change, and it's a stressful situation because you're with one leg in the past and one in the future, and this is kind of a breaking point, and you need to take a decision, and this card is kind of telling you that you need to take this change step by step, so you don't get overwhelmed, and people might think that you are irresponsible and that you are not living up to certain standards. But for me, from my point of view, it seems like you are a pioneer, like you're kind of changing a whole system because you want to have something that's new. You have seen a vision kind of, and so you're breaking free from something old and to go into something new. And if you don't, it will almost kill you. So it's not an option. So you have kind of run with your head first right into a wall. And now you need to you know now that this wasn't the right direction, so you need to change direction and you need to find your new way. And how you do this is kind of like a beginner, step by step, and try to keep balance so you don't get too afraid in this new beginning and kind of freak out because is a pretty stressful situation sometimes. And we see the sea here is coming and it's threatening to it's bulging up and it's hard for the ships to come close to the shore. But it's a good, and we see you are very focused, you're very concentrated, and so you're going to fix this. You are going to make this transition very nicely. And as I said, it's a pioneer thing. So don't demand too much of yourself, because don't stress this. Let it take time, so you don't find yourself on the deep end and being like helpless in all this new. You need to go step by step, so you don't overdo it or stress out your system too much, because you're already very, very weakened by all the energy that you have lost here to something that was not for you, or it was draining. So the next card that comes underneath Six of Wands is Ace of Wands, and this is also change. We have the butterfly here, metamorphosis, a new dawn. So this is you aligning yourself with your soul and your soul's purpose and why you came here on earth. You are not pointing in so many different directions now, but one. And this direction is your direction. So it's not like you need to go on a big quest. You need to go on a search inside yourself and ask, what do I want? What do I want? Because it's something that's not really born yet. It's not something that's not existing yet. It's just like a longing within you. And it might be a longing for sleeping, for whatever, because you seem very exhausted here. So that might be the first thing you long for. So don't build up like big, like, well, I need to be successful. No, you need to find yourself. And this is what the card says. Because we need in yourself and your willpower and what you want and what you are longing for truly, truly in your heart, when you're taking away all expectation that you have had on your life and what other people might have upon you, that might be you finding true happiness. Because we human beings is very hardworking, and we also stress out some of our animals with very hard work, but nature overall is kind of, you are fitting into the ecosystem and you are doing your part, and you might sleep 14 hours and kind of going around grassing, or if you're a lion, you chase something when you get hungry. But human beings is excessively working and trying to be like earning the price to live. Like it's like you need to prove yourself worthy of being a human being and alive, and you don't have to. The earth should feel really much better if people were more in tune with themselves and didn't chase glory and to prove themselves worthy. So we need more thinkers, more wise people, more people tending to their garden and doing things that they really love, like different kind of crafts, or spending time doing the thing that they really, really love. So I think future work will be this kind of thing where you really do something that you really, really love. So it seems like this is indicated for you, that you need to align yourself with you and what you want and what was your purpose when you came. Are you a grass eater? Are you a lion? Are you a creator? What are you? So you need to find out and just relax with, yes, this is who I am. I can't be like an elephant if I'm a monkey. So you need to decide who you are. And here you have the shadow side. So this is a treasure chest. People are so afraid of this place because it's their shadow. It's the thing that other people rejected with them, and they put all those things away. But this is here you will find your true destiny. You were like a special person when you came, and now you have aligned yourself like being a sheep in a flock when you're really like a lion or a monkey or whatever. And here is all those treasures that's kind of making you unique compared to others. And you have put it away like this. And it was necessary for you to do this when it happened, because you tried to survive in a world where you didn't find support. But the good news now is that you are going to support yourself, and like not try to bend yourself backwards to fit in the world. You will be yourself more and more each and every day. Take up all those talents and things and wants and needs that you had here. Sometimes this is the card for the devil. It's number 15. It's the shadow. So it might be you have this an addiction because you have suppressed something that you longed for, so you got an addiction instead, and this is how you cope with suppressing something, some part of you. So you need to it's like an archaeological excavation here. It's root deep, so it's go down through your life, backwards in time, also maybe to past life experience. So you have a lot of different things here that you have avoided to see with yourself. And this is the time to start seeing this. The light is coming in here. And the light is probably this wand. You trying to find yourself. Who am I? What am I doing here? What's my purpose? So your purpose is hidden here in the shadow. So you have tried to be someone else. And now you need to find yourself again. And this is your mission kind of right now. And here we have the star card. So the star card is number 17. We have it underneath 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. So those two cards are very much related. You are guided by the stars, and you will feel it as a longing within you, like a passion, a longing, an ache for something. What is this? So this is how they guide you, okay? Through your needs, through your longing, to everything that you have kind of said, well, that's not for me, maybe next life. It's now. They want you to go for this now, to have hope and dreams. And even if you won't reach the stars, you might reach the hills or the treetops. So you need to align yourself with yourself. And because this longing is the road forward. You have been destined to go here. It's like these are the waters here and these are the waters here. It's like a plan. It's like they have decided that this should happen to you in your lifetime. So in the stream of life, there's different destined station that you were supposed to come to. So you're always guided, always, even through the darkest time. Stars are sun. They are suns that's very far away from us. So they are kind of beacons in the sky. So you're guided here to find yourself first and foremost, and then you will be able to find your highest destiny as well. But first, you need to find yourself, the person that you were when you came, before people kind of said that, well, there's something wrong with you. We need to rearrange you so you will fit here on earth. So they did, and you forgot who you were. And now you need to remember again. So this is the future. So still with this exhaustion with you. 4 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. All those cards is indicating exhaustion, also ill health sometimes. But this ill health is coming from a need of rest. It's like you have been whipping a dead horse here. You have tried to make yourself go in a certain direction that wasn't really for you. And you did it because you wanted to be a good person, you wanted to fit in, and so you tried. But this road haven't given you any energy. It has stolen your energy, and it has made you really exhausted. We can see on this woman here, see on her face, like how she has restrained herself, and she's so tired she can't even hold her eyes open. And now it's time to rest. It's time to give this up and take a pause, because you won't do anything good here when you are exhausted and when you are you have given away your energy into the wrong direction. And here you have underneath the Hangman and Two of Pentacles, you have One of Pentacles, and that's the gateway to paradise. So we were cast out from paradise. We were told like from that day human beings will work in their own sweat to make their living. So now it's time to return. It's time to return to this, and it's like an egg, an embryo. So it's for you to decide what this should be like in this future of yours, your paradise. So you need to decide what's paradise for you. So you're going to build this paradise in your life. And to notice is that you have 2 aces, so that's a new beginning. You also have 1, 2, and 3 pentacles. It's going backwards, so it's kind of counting down to something, to you deciding what you want. And see, ace, ace, interesting to see this card. Yes, and here we have a Queen of Wands. So that's a Queen of Fire, and it comes from the 6 of Wands, Ace of Wands, and then the Queen of Wands. So this is you, untainted, like you being enlightened by the spiritual fire, okay? So you are the queen in your life. Queens are birthing forward the new. It doesn't matter if you are male or female. This is you birthing forward the new. Like kind of finding yourself and birthing her forward. Kind of taking yourself and making you live the life you were supposed to live. So it's a queen, and it's a cat there, so it's very much like this strength card as well, just that you have tainted the lion a little bit. But it's very strong willpower. It's very much taking an adult decision, not being victim to circumstances anymore, but taking the lead in your life, being a pioneer, create your own paradise, decide what you want, being very strong. And also this person is a person that through history has been forced through many, like, yes, it's a witch, of course. So witch burning, also this hanging on the cross, not being good enough, always being like pointed on and people being afraid of her. But now you need to be her, the person that's kind of an alien on earth. But she's not, because she's only a rebel going outside the frames for what we are expecting. So she's something different. She's something new. She's always making more room, making more space, telling like there's more to be find out, and it's more to be lived, and it's you don't have to follow the rules. She's like this person that's you can point her out in a crowd. Everyone is like kind of alike, and there she comes. So this is you being unique. This is you being like the bird phoenix, birth anew. Okay, this is the Scorpio's life mission to go through this. And here you also have the Empress, and she comes underneath the shadow side. So it seems like when you have worked with yourself, trying to find yourself to the 3 of Pentacles and the shadow side, what you will find is a creator. She's also have this halo. So it's kind of the feminine side have been persecuted for a long, long time, being hanged upside down like this, lost their power, their value, but she still this halo. So this situation, all this, like the last 6,000 years where women have been like the lesser sex, or the feminine has been like something you can use and abuse, like earth. This feminine side has become very wise and very like having this stamina to withstand almost anything, and still being stoically calm and loving in unconditional love. So we have been fostered through this hanging process. The feminine side has been fostered, and now she can bloom, because she know now she has gone through the dark ages, and now she can come out in full bloom, showing the new way for humanity to step into the future with compassion, with love, with care for others, not seeing like us and them, but everyone together. People being like more accepting of differences and more accepting of people taking their own personal road and choices. This is like being very tolerant against others. And it's still this birthing forward the new. It's the you aligning with you, and therefore paradise with a very feminine way. And this is a feminine ace, earth. So, but this is a fiery person, fiery woman, rebellious, visionary. Okay. The last card is Three of Swords. So Three of Swords is, of course, heartache, pain, but it's a really, really old pain. It's not bleeding. I will turn on the light here. Oh. So it's not bleeding. It's a really old wound. And it's, of course, this what I already have told you about the feminine and how it has been persecuted and not valued, really. And now it's time to heal that. And you are good as you are. You can follow your own bliss and be your own person. Following the stars here and your own strength here. Like being you, totally. Both those cards, this is about healing, and this is about choosing your side in this whole matter. And what will happen with this, then, this broken heart, it will heal, okay? So this is a time of healing for you. And not racing against yourself, making yourself exhausted by trying to be something that you're not. We can see like this when women coming to strong position in politics, for example, they are very masculine, and we don't need this. We need feminine persons in politics now. People that don't want to break down Mother Earth, don't want to cause more wars, don't want to have harder punishment or whatever. We need a more feminine touch, more tolerant, and more loving. Yes, and this needs to spread. So, okay. It's a beautiful reading for you. I think you will do just fine, because you have a rather simple task. You need to be more you. Can you manage to be more you each and every day? Okay, you need to try. So, okay, wisdom of the hidden realms for you. See what's going on here. So we have the Dream Walker and the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. So the Dream Walker is dreams, the collective good, illusions. So this is where you have been. You wanted to be a good person. You have done your best, and you have gone like in a trance-like state your whole life, trying to be a good person, trying to be like as valuable as possible for your surrounding and for yourself, and reaching goals and whatever has been required of you. Maybe people have seen you like a successful person, so you have tried to be successful to make them happy. Maybe you have been seen like whatever picture you have of yourself that you have kind of trying to live up to, but it has been an illusion. You have been walking in Maya, the dream, the illusion, where it hasn't really been you. But we have a storch here and a lizard, so that's kind of birthing of the new, of you as you really are, your tune, your kind of melody, being unique. And this is the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, selflessness, humility, conscious action. So that was what I talked about with the Ace of Wands, that we need more wise people on earth. We don't need more business managers or people finding new beautiful ways to excavate the earth. We need more wise people, more loving people, more masters, more philosophers, more poets, more songwriters, dancers. We need more of this. We need more happiness, and more like going back to maybe a little bit more a calmer society where we don't need to be quite this in so much distress, and put our biological system to always like give their best, and being on like very much adrenaline, and the breathing being very intense and things like this. We need to like try to stay calm and breathe a little bit, and be ourselves, and not have such a high demand of stress on us. So the weakest link that will break first is probably the pioneers. So if you feel like you are too weak to live in this this society, then you are probably exactly right, because then you are the persons that will come with the new. Okay, so this is Asia. Asia is much like the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. It's kind of indicated that you need to sit down and breathe a little bit, I think, and find a wisdom within you, your own self, like who am I? And when I'm still, when I'm not doing nothing, who am I? So mindfulness exercise might be very good for you. Also, some else practice with meditation or something. And it's also like you have a wisdom to share here. I said that you were pioneers. So I think you will lead us to a more paradise kind of state, like where happiness is much more valued than gold, maybe. And here is the card for the father, and that's really beautiful, because I think you need to be the parent to yourself, and the masculinity has also a beautiful mission. It's the sex that doesn't have made a revolution yet. Guys can't. They have certain rules to live by. They need to be a little bit macho, and they can't wear pink, and no skirts are allowed, things like this. So they have certain codes to live by that can be very draining. And so what we need is a new type of masculinity that's kind of aligning themselves with themselves, and wants to be like find out who they are really, and not following like society's codes anymore. We need a new type of masculinity, and I'm not going to dictate how that masculinity will be, but I think it will be glorious. So we need new father figures. We need new kind of leaders and caretakers, and people. The masculine energy is the arrow, and the feminine energy is the bow. So I'm expecting the masculine to do a little bit of revolution here rather soon, and it will be wonderful, because they need to break free from very old rules about how to be and how to behave. Maybe this type of masculinity is one kind of masculinity that could be very much needed. More wise persons. Yes, okay. So I hope this helped a little bit, and we had both the father and the mother here. So it's something I think you're working with the masculinity and the femininity, like the masculinity has been like producing, making new adventures, new like scientific discoveries and things like this, and the mother, she's kind of just there, more, it's a more passive energy, like sitting still and birthing forward the new. It's like a flowering garden. It's just like grass grows by its own accord. You don't need to fight so much. So it's two different energies, and they need to cooperate in a better way. Like there need to be more balance between this. Okay, so I hope you felt a little bit in tune, and yes, that it resonated with you a little bit. And when you will see me again, it will be a new year, 2017. And so till then, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So take really good care. Bye bye.